If you look at today, DALY, this is disease adjusted life year. See here where we are today in India and where is developed country like US is. It's a huge opportunity for us to move, and that too when our average age is about 15 to 16 years less than US population. So this is again a big opportunity, and I'll relate it as we move forward. You all know that this is not a big deal in terms of bed per 1,000 population. We are today about 1.5. If you see, these are a little bit dated, this is a little old, but currently it's about 1.5 beds per 1,000 population is where India is. Whereas on the other extreme, Japan is 14 beds. China is 3 beds. So if we take one where we probably would like to have our journey next 5 to 10 years, is another developing nation, China, which has a large population like us, billion plus. So I think that's again area which is going to help us. And simple to relate here, beds have a direct relationship with the medical devices. If you want to look at a hospital which has 100 monitors today, if they double the size of the hospital, they would straight away need 200 monitors, because that's the way you have to see, just to give a simplistic angle. So this has a clear relationship. Another area is the GDP spent. Today government is spending about 1.3, 1.4% of the GDP toward the healthcare. They have committed, last budget it was that they are going to move to 2.5% up to 25. That's a big deal actually, because GDP itself is growing. About 6 to 8% we have a GDP growth every year, and on top of it, you have a growth of healthcare spend moving from 1.3 to 2.5. Big deal. I believe that from government it is going to become more than double in next 7 to 8 years time, which is going to again make a big impact to the overall devices side. In 1990, 92, waiting period of CT scanner in most of the cities was that you used to take about a week time. United Medical was one company who had some 70, 80 installations, and you go to hospitals and they'll say that go to this particular place, they will do a CT. Those were simple CTs. One CT used to take such a long time, and they were unable to do more than 15, 18 patients a day. Today, every year more than 1,000 CT gets added into the market, and these are high speed units, and everyone is doing a lot of work. So that shows clearly that on the diagnostic side, we are really moving very, very nicely. Import duty, I don't know how many of you remember that there was a time when there was an import duty of 40% on the medical devices. Today it's 5, 7%, and we'll still cry and debate a lot. And at 40%, it was not only 40%. You have to take permission from RBI to import and get a certificate by name NMIDC, not manufactured in India. Everybody knew that CT MRs were not made, but still you used to take long time to get that. And whether you remember that when MR came, it took about 6 months to get the permission from RBI to get that funds in 1992, 93. So this is how I feel that changes were there at that point in time. One machine in 1990, and open, Apollo was the one who started. Basically, the whole change of corporation started from there, and it became totally different today. Localization happened because custom duty was very high, and there was, I would not name the company, but in India, the assembly, so-called assembly, that started in 93, 92 time itself. So that was a big deal. And teleradiology started very humbly, but you don't have right bandwidth and all that. There was a difficulty to transmit those images. But humble started at that point in time itself. Now, 2005 and 10, most people would remember as a PPP, because PPP don't relate only as a public-private partnership. It's also public-public partnership. And the first model came in 1992 in Bombay, and that was at Nanavati Hospital. And that was known as the Nanavati model, where one private doctor had put a MR scan because he felt MR is viable. Hospital was not thinking it's viable. And even the same group is today also running in that place the same concept. And that was an example that how you can do a partnership. It was not only a private-public partnership, but it was a private-private partnership. And then we know that now preventive focus has gone up. We have also seen that RSBY was launched by government. If you come to 11 to 15, most important which I see here is that FDI. FDI through the quick route was permitted, and 100% FDI, that is a big deal, and it was a big motivation for outside people to come and set up shop in India. So not much of advantage has really been taken because still the complexity of setting up plants and systems are still very high, but few have come. But this was a big move in my mind. And this time we have really seen that telemedicine, teleradiology has become really a reality. Today, even institute like NHS from UK is trying to tie up India to get their reporting done. So there is a huge change which now in India it is seen and technology is bringing, and that is the device game is changing. And PPP really has caught up now. Most governments have jumped in that because they realize they can't maintain those products and those devices. They give to the competent people and they have ability to run, maintain, and provide the best class services. So PPP became quite a reality there. And from 16 to 18, I think one point which I would like to say is the last, which is probably Ayushman Bharat. I mean, that's one area which is also controversial. There's a lot of debate, but directionally, if you see, it's a really big step. It's a very, very big step, whether you say it's a Modi care or whatever. But this is going to open, and a lot of hub and spoke models are going to be there. Today, large hub will be there, and they'll set up a small shop near the patient, and affordability is also increasing. And more than affordability, there is some assurance that you are going to be treated.